Hello, everybody, and welcome to an episode of What the Fuck Did I Just Watch? And today we're going to be talking about Sodorland, Paul's Vids' latest entry in the Shed 17 trilogy. And oh boy, if you thought Shed 17 was weird and freaky, and Project G1 was even worse, yeah, you're in for a doozy. So the film starts out with, Major Hartley talking to VL75, aka some German engine that I assumed was the Marklin engine. He tried to trigger it via giving it memories of Sodor events that he probably never experienced. And then after he triggers the engine, he kills it. We're then treated to an exposition of him watching his father get torn in half by Thomas on TV. If you're wondering, Keith Hartley is his father, the main protagonist of Shed 17 and G1 before he dies. But anyway, we cut to the military restraining Thomas and bringing him back to Sodor, where he goes and tries to get the engines to vote to make Sodor a sovereign state. And I think somewhat of it works out. So then they try to harass the people out of their homes via various methods. And I swear, not even 5 minutes in, there is a fucking penis in this film. It's an edited scene from Henry and the Elephant where they remove the elephant trunk and replace it with the fucking thing. But I thought Paul Smith learned from the fucking pedo scene in Project G1 with that one OC that someone had. And I thought he learned from the rape scene that he had to remove from G1. But my question is, what the fuck was he smoking when he made this film? Like, I'm confused. I thought this was going to be somewhat tamer than both Shed 17 and G1, because we didn't see much. But in all seriousness, let's get into the rest of it. So, after a few bits of exposition, Picard... Oh, wait, not that guy. We haven't even got to him yet. Major Hartley goes to Hallie Sulaco's psychic readings to see her and make an appointment to find out what the hell is going on here. And eventually, he finds her. They talk, but then it's revealed that this motherfucker, Hakari Sulaco, has been using his wife's body to blend in with the engines. It's due to a certain incident that happened at Sodor Research, where they tried to have kids via injecting both of their DNA into Hallie, and then once the birth happens, she dies due to a funnel ripping out. No! In all seriousness, that was the turning off point for me. I wanted to exit the video, but I was too curious to see what else was going on. He then pans over the camera and he finds out that Professor Hans and Owen Ruth have been involved in this for quite some time. And there was no record of offspring. We'll find out about that shortly. Anyway, back to what we were doing. Let's skip ahead to where he wants to get onto the island for some reason. But then let me cut to where he says that Thomas employed a sentry. So there's this guy named Terry Claus who wanted to be a diesel engine. He worshipped diesels. Mavis Boco. He raised the money before biofusion was banned. He had the process done. But due to his dissociative identity disorder, he was split into two different parts. One personality took form of Diesel 10, a mute individual, and Pinchy, who, yeah, he was mute too, but Pinchy was much more violent. Pinchy ripped out of the tank. Pinchy slipped out of the tank and then started killing people. It was honestly quite entertaining to watch Pinchy just go ape shit on everyone because, it's quite a breath of fresh air compared to the shit that I just saw before. Or anyway, Pinchy drags this guy away, where he digs into the floor. And I gotta admit, that shit's gotta hurt. Your nails are probably gonna be bleeding from that, you know. But anyway, we then get this really cool alien reference where Pinchy just opens its mouth to one guy in front of one guy, and then a smaller Pinchy appears, and then it opens and shuts. That's pretty cool. But anyway, Thomas gets revealed again, and first he brings Duck back to Sodor. Duck crashes into a barber shop. The barber's actions, Duck crashes the fuck out and kills him and leaves the place, bro. And we never see Duck again. I thought Duck was going to be a major player in this film, but anyway, let's get ahead to Thomas's big reveal. He had people
I'm gonna kick your ass
him back into an engine. It turns out they're referencing old shit too, such as Thomas being able to rip his face out, like that Thomas from all those cursed videos and Thomas in Secret by Chugga YT or something. But the difference is that Thomas, once he was being shot at, he had an entire army of class 812s or class 652s, depending on how you look at them. Anyway, he had this biofusion plague that he spread to the island that killed the soldiers. But I won't tell you what else happened. But anyway, back to the biofusion plague. There was this illness on Sodor where engines were forced to share coal and water. There were drug addicts on Sodor. The British Navy blockaded the island so no supplies could come in or out. So it was basically just a big shit show, essentially. So let's cut to the next few minutes. Major Hartley finds Toby. He lobotomizes him, using him to get to Sodor. Or he nearly gets caught by Kevin, who I'm surprised was even alive, which makes no sense because we never saw the clones of Toby and Kevin. But it might just be Paul forgetting that Toby was dead. And Kevin. Diesel 10 did lift Toby up, however, trying to check him, but anyway, Kevin stops him, he lets him through. Major Hartley reaches Shed 17, etc., etc. We find out that Dr. Ruth has been working on this superhuman type being. Like, what? And I cannot stress this enough. They have a shootout. They have a small, short shootout. Dr. Ruth shoots Major Hartley down. He's not dead yet. But after another shot, tank cracks, spilling the liquid all over Dr. Ruth, causing him to melt into plastic. And this Thomas Jesus thing that for some reason caked up, crawls out, heals Major Hartley, and then proceeds to bring back everyone. I mean, not everyone, but the characters that were there. Percy's corpse, Henry's makes sense. Henry and Percy make sense because Percy's remains were probably thrown somewhere after G1. Yeah, most definitely. Gordon, I don't get, because Gordon blew up in a shed somewhere near Shed 17. And Henry makes a lot of sense because he was at crew, but I mean, I don't know where was Henry's body specifically, but let's not judge or question anything until after, where I give my actual thoughts. So we cut to the next scene, the end, where all the engines are just staring at him. And then we get the face reveal, and it's just Thomas. So I read the wiki, and turned out this creature is actually Thomas, combined with the DNA of the child that Hallie and Pakari had. Well, that was a shit show. Anyway, all I gotta say is, what the actual fuck? This was, in ways, better than Project G1, but um freakier than the last two films. Like, Paul went too far with this one, man. Like, we know that Smudger and James got violated in those deleted scenes, but we didn't have to see a full on penis in in the third film. Like, why? What went through his mind when he was making this? I guess you could say he was sick of making Thomas content, so that's why he decided to freak us all out with all of this. But anyway, I guess that's the end of the review because I have nothing to say here. If you want me to talk about the first two films, then comment on it. But anyway, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.